Morning students. Today we will discuss the soil erosion. What is the soil erosion? Erosion, that means remove the soil from the surface. That means surface soil. How to affect them? Means surface soil or fertile soils like like high availability of nutrients, high availability of carbon, high availability of the nutrient. That means these are a source, and also porous soil become porous or more. That means all physically or chemical biologically good from the surface. When they remove the surface soil, they remove the fertile soil, create the unfertility. The process, the removal of the soil from surface and detached in different places, this is called erosion. The process, how soil erosion as the process, how to run, how to govern the process of erosion, the run, that this is the what is the two different process. First is the water erosion factor causing. The two factors causing, first is the air and second is the water. The water is the effect on the depend on the intensity of the rain, speed of the rain, and slope of gradient of surface of the gradient slope. The process like the water erosion, by the different process. First is the detachment. After the rain touch the surface of the soil, detach the particle. Detachment after transported to the one place to different place and deposit or transported to the deposit to the another place. This process of the erosion. It is water erosion. The type of erosion. Type of erosion, that means types and other different classifications. Like first is the natural or geological erosion. That means the govern with the naturally or the ecologically run is the slow rate. But accelerated, as simply that means simply defined as the occur with the increase the erosion rate, increase the intensity of the special factor increase, like the human activities or the mining or increase the erosion rate by the accelerate the activity of the factors. First is the water erosion. Water erosion, the different types like rain drop or stress erosion, sheet erosion, erosion, green and extension. These are the type of the erosion. Only two factors, water and air. Second is the air erosion. The erosion based on the movement of the particles like a saltation, suspension and surface creeps. This is water erosion. Water erosion, that means the water is the first ejects the water from the surface of the field attached with the splash the particle. If the particle are moved to the down to upperward with the point to 9 to 10 meters, point 1 meter, but that's 1 meter. 1 meter jump the soil particle from 1 meter at the high jumps. And after the move, the splash will create with the movement of the water, created the reels like this. Reels movement of the is first stage of the reels movement, and the second is the well removal of the seeds, removal of the total seeds of the surface like this. Surface of the seeds remove the all fertile soil and the unfertility of the surface of the soils. And the last one is the gully, when the increase the size of the rain by the seed and movement more than more when they create the channels. These are the gully. These are the different types of the water erosions. Next one is the wind erosion. Wind erosion is the moment depend on the classification, depend on the moment of the particle. Like first is the saltation. Saltation, that means first is the surface creep. Surface creep means the moment of the surface particle, moment of the particle, soil particle attached with the surface. These are the surface of the soil and particle moment from the surface attachment of the with the surface. The moment called the surface creeps. That is the first stage. And the particle size between the 0.5 to 1 millimeter, 0.5 to 1 millimeter. And second is the saltation. Saltation, that means the movement of the particle like a Brownian movement. Brownian movement like this, like a jumping and a zigzag movement. It's like electricity and the moment of the particle. These are the zero point 0.5 to zero point 0.1 millimeter. That's the size granular more than the less than the surface of the particles and more less than the suspension. This last one is the suspension. Suspension when the particle size is 0.1 or 0.5 millimeter, then the moment of the particle from the is like a dry region, is like Rajasthan and Sahara Mustale, there is a sand particle and the very smaller size particle are movement to the one place to different places. Second one thing is the factors. These are factors. That's like we will discuss the accelerated erosion and the geological erosion. This is the governing by the two factors, water and the water erosion basically erosion. How do the factor? These are affect these erosion factor are increase the intensity of the erosion or decrease the intensity of the factor causing. First is the climate. It's like formula. Rotate the formula. The erosion, that means the water erosion, that means the causing factor are the climate. First is the climate. Second, topography. That means structure of the surface of the soils, topography, undulating slopes or the surface slopes are there. Second is the vegetation. Vegetation is the major factor. Vegetation is the when the surface of the vegetation cover decrease the intensity of the movement of the particles, and the second is the control the water particles and bind the particles of the surface of the soils, and second is the soil. That means the major erosion, but the water very factor is causing the only the erosion of the soil. But soil type of the soil, as like the sandy soil, more detached from the by the air. But next is the water. That means second is the like heavy rainfall area. There is a high compacted soil. Compacted soil does not affect in the air, but in the heavy rainfall effect in this type of soil. Second is the wind erosion. Wind erosion following factors like wind basically effect type of the like wind speed, or character different type character and direction. Normally maximum erosion causing the south or western in the specific direction, but in this direction controlled by the specific direction growing the plants, and increase the temperature. When they increase the temperature, more transpiration and water losses and create the erosion and the dry region, and more the increase the erosion by the water and humidities. Second is the character is the surface, like the surface roughness and vegetation cover of the observation create the vegetation and increase the intensity. Topography is the surface of the slope, the structure of the soil and surface and the movement depend on the vegetation and topographies. Second, what is the nature of the properties and depend on the character of the soil. But with the type of soil and character also is like water, and also affect the air like structure. The soil structure can be structure in different types like flaty, columnar, and with the different types. And texture like sand, silt, which type of soil texture are found in the space like the sandy soil. Sandy soil are more eroded by the air, but in the like clay soil are compacted when dry. When dry is very dry in the nature, but not affected by the air. So the feature of the erosion was the factor affecting causing the erosion. Control, how to control the erosion. These factors how to control. First is the water. Water controlling, how to the detachment, the controlling the soil detachment and control the sediment transpiration. That means create the embragment in the like movement of water in this direction. Okay, movement of water in this direction, and the create the embragment from the in the direction, and the decrease the intensity of the water. Create the sloping lands, undulating, create the sloping lands and facing and so clear. Second is the wind erosion. Wind erosion, that means cover the surface. Surface like in plain surface, grow the vegetation, grow the more than bare vegetation and cover with the surface and decrease the wind erosion. Second, bringing the aggregate and clouds is like surface is like sandy soil, and the open covered by the clouds and pits, and because resistant to forces, increase the intensity effect by the erosion wide air. Second is making the surface roughness and the reduction of the wind velocities. That means the movements. Second is establish barriers. Barrier that means create the barriers like growing the plants in the movement of air. movement of air from this direction. Okay? Then growing the plants and create the environments and then decrease the intensity when they reduce the erosion of the air. So causing of the soil erosion. Causing this means these are the major factors like rain or raindrop, runoff. Depend as like the first is the rain and rain water runoff. Rain, that means maximum rain like increase the rain intensity of the rain effect more than more increase the water pollution. Run water also rain water runoff, that means the removal of the surface, मतलब कि water catchment areas water removal from the out of the surface, मतलब fields. Then increase the runoff area, मतलब increase also in farming system that likes मतलब growing of the plants, growing of the crops, like is the growing continuous as a monocropping system, as the losses of the nutrient and surface losses of the organic matter and decrease the catchment of particles as a major factor of the farming system. Second is the slope of the land. Slope of the land, like the hilly areas. Hilly areas has the direct slope, and the increase the wind, increase the movement of the water is very high. But create the slope and the like this, it will create the terraces, to decrease the intensity of the rain out, and decrease the waters. And like of the vegetation, when the clean vegetation is like some hilly areas and like clean vegetation, no vegetation found in the specific place, then increase the intensity. But specific like some places are the lack of vegetation. Second is the wind depend on the speed or directions. So next, the solution. What is the solution? How to control the measure erosion? Like careful tilling. The more tilling increase the erosion and the displacement of the particle, but increase control the irrigation and increase decrease the tilling or tillage or the controlling the erosion. Second, crop rotation. When the growing of the different type crops, like when the growing the cycle are the follows, like wheat and the rice. Second is the pulse crops, pulse cereals, and so the in the monocropping do not create monocropping system. In the rotate crop and the deep rooted and the shallow rooted system, the follow the increase the fertility soil and the particle increase the soil structure of the for the plants. Water control create the catchment areas or historic farming, and increase the knowledge, some specific person are to increase the knowledge. So the last one is the and